Now, according to the National Institute of Health, on average, the incidence of muscle loss increases up to 50% in adults over 80 years of age. So that's towards the older generation. But we're talking about the older generation and also the younger generation. Okay. So we brought in the studio today two of our very distinguished guests. So, Mio, please bring them in.
Exactly. Down here together with us, we have Professor Dr. SHAHRUL KAMARUZZAMAN, who is the president of the Malaysian Healthy Aging Society, MHAS as well.
Hello, Prof.
And we have Dr. Nina Mazera Muhammad Said, Abbott's Nutrition Medical Director in Malaysia. Prof, Doctor, thank you so much for coming down.
Somehow, right, I feel so scared talking about this particular topic today, and we've got two experts in.
How do you think I'm feeling right now? Okay, if you're feeling scared, what do you think? How do you think I feel? But let's just go on with what Brandon has actually mentioned. Prof, I would like to come to you first. The aging, the muscle loss issues that people are facing right now, again, as Brandon has mentioned, it's not really just for the elderlies or people who are veterans of 50, 60 years and above. It's also a common thing right now with the youngsters, people who are in their 20s and 30s. Is that a right statement, Prof?
That's absolutely right. And thanks for inviting us on the show. We age as we're sitting down here.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah, and every second we are aging. So aging is not just for older people. Aging starts the minute you're born. Okay. So our organ systems all age, as we speak. So it is not uncommon for age-related diseases to occur. Some people, it occurs at a younger age. Some people occurs as they reach
the later age.
The later age, yeah.
Yeah, but technically, when people said, you age gracefully, wow, Mio, you're aging gracefully, and all those kind of statements that they share among each other, right? So could you actually tell us what is literally defined as healthy aging to you?
Well, there's some formal classifications. We've got the World Health Organization, and it really is, healthy aging is where you, is defined as when you have functional impairment and the ability to actually develop and maintain and avoid functional impairments as you grow older, and therefore you need to also age well and improve your well-being as you grow old. So is trying to actually improve functional ability as you grow old, and this in turn improves your well-being as you age.
And here we just think about physical appearance, right? Wow, your skin is so nice, you're aging well, huh? Okay, but it's not just that.
Okay, why am I the model in this particular topic?
Because
I have
you are.
No idea. Because I have. So coming to you, Dr. Nina, as what our Prof has actually mentioned again, every single second we are aging. There's no two ways about it. There's no way to stop it. But of course, the implications of it, should you are aging, in regards of your immune system and your muscles, obviously it exists. So could you share actually with us what are the implications of aging? Basically.
Okay, all right. So usually when we talk about our muscle, the first thing that comes into mind is it's important for our movement because it gives us the strength to do our daily activities, for our posture, for our balance. But actually, our muscle has other roles as well. Okay, so one of them is the immune system. In actual fact, these two systems actually are interrelated. Okay, so if you maintain your muscle health, you also maintain your immune system. So this is why it's very important for you to to prioritize your muscle health so that everyone can actually, as you say, age gracefully. And this is where Abbott comes in, and we have collaborated with the Malaysian Healthy Aging Society to raise this awareness among Malaysians so that they realize what is the impact of good muscle health, and so they will prioritize, in terms of their muscle health, so that everyone can actually, grow older, even through their golden years. Yeah.
This could be off topic just a little bit, but I have to ask you, Doctor. Which means, can we say that being skinny is actually not an ideal physique or whatsoever, because we're talking about muscle mass here? What would you say?
Okay, I think something that Prof is an expert in, but it's not about being skinny or being obese, because sometimes people who are obese, they look big, they have high BMI, but they could have very little muscle. Right. Okay, whereas someone who looks skinny, their muscle is actually, their muscle bulk is actually very good. Right. Okay? So, but this is something that I think is more on if you want to know exactly how much muscle you have, it's either in the hospital setting or in a research setting, you can actually objectively measure your muscle.
Not just in the mirror.
That only tells, 5% of the time anyway. Coming back to you, Prof, because again, when we talk about, this particular situation that we're in, specifically in Malaysia, what would be one of the top health issues that is impacting Malaysians when it comes to, aging, muscle loss, so on and so forth? Because again, unfortunately, we are well known of being a nation who is high, we have high numbers of diabetes, diabetic patients,
Correct.
heart diseases, so on and so forth. But when it comes to aging, muscle loss and whatnot, where do we stand amongst Malaysians?
Okay, I mean, we are in Asia. So Malaysia is one of the most rapidly aging populations in the world.
Wow, okay.
So we are rapidly aging because of a number of reasons. And one of the things that Malaysians often suffer from, as you've heard in the news, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, obesity, arthritis. So all these are conditions that can actually affect muscle. And these are as you age and you have these chronic health conditions, you actually accelerate your aging process. So it affects you on a cellular process, on a cellular level. So you have damage to your cells at an early age through various reasons because of the disease. And then, of course, aging at the same time, this confounds the problem and compounds the problem and actually accelerates your aging. So all these diseases actually impact on your muscle. And, of course, coupled with our Malaysian love to eat, love to, sit and are a little bit more sedentary these days, especially our younger generation, and actually older population as well. We're always on our phones, etc. So we're more sedentary. Our lifestyles have changed. I think post-pandemic, a lot more of us are actually suffering from the repercussions of staying locked up.
Correct.
And not moving. So a lot of younger people, even children in school, are already losing muscle. So I think back to the question you asked Dr. Nina, what are the signs of this is not so much your size, yes and no, but it's more of your muscle performance. What are you not able to do? Or you're not able to actually function as well as you did before, climbing or running up a flight of stairs, able to carry the heavy shopping load that you used to, able to actually run as you used to. And people are complaining of this even after the pandemic because they are more sedentary than they've ever been. So message is get out there, move.
Get out there and move. There's a solid message out there, actually.
It may sound as simple as it is to move, but sometimes, we humans, we are the best in coming up with excuses.
I think for younger people like you and I, Mio, we have no issues in moving. We are just lazy.
I'm included now.
We are just lazy. So let's talk about the disuse of muscle because obviously this is also an important factor right here that brings about muscle loss and so on and so forth. Muscle groups that maybe we used to use it a lot, but we just don't do it anymore, that brings about negative impacts in our daily lives or in the future. Are there any groups of muscles that we are talking about right here, or is just that you just need to be mobile, you just need to move out there, instead of just sitting down and just doing your work or whatsoever?
I think back to our definition of healthy aging is functional ability, right? Your functional ability depends on how you lead your life. So if you're mostly at the desk and just moving these muscles,
that's a problem.
That's a problem. You're not getting up. So therefore your muscles here, your thigh muscles are weaker because getting up, and everything this tends to sort of just concentrate here.
No, that makes a lot of sense,
not
isn't
improve.
it?
Now it's making sense to you.
To me, not to you.
And if we are not used to carrying things and we're not using our hands, because some occupational related diseases is also impacting on your muscle as well. So if you're more desk job, you're not moving around, you're not actually building muscle, and that's just only the physical ability side of things. There's also the nutrition, which is very key.
Exactly.
It goes deeper, bro.
No, because they have layers and layers of things that we really need to understand. It's not just about moving the muscles, it's about what you eat as well, what you consume. It affects our lives, from our lifestyle, from our habits as well. Dr. Nina, obviously these statements are true, yet people tend to neglect or ignore as much as they can. So what is it that people need to really be mindful of when it comes to habits, when it comes to eating, when it comes to taking supplements or whatever, anything that you can advise us on that?
All right, actually when we talk about muscle loss, right, there's the good news that you can actually stop or slow down muscle loss if you do the appropriate intervention. Okay, if you look at the statistics, you can lose your muscle from the age of 40 up to 8% every 10 years. After 70, the rate doubles. But this is if you don't do anything at all. Okay? So there are steps that you can take to slow down or reverse or even prevent muscle loss. Okay, so definitely this has been shown in studies that regular exercises. Prof mentioned about good nutrition, practicing balance and good nutrition. And of course, taking care of yourself in terms of your health overall. So these are all critical factors in terms of if you can age, as you say, gracefully or age well. Okay, so we look at exercise. Definitely resistance exercise is one that has been shown in many studies that it is actually even aging muscle, will still respond to exercise. Okay, so resistance exercise, I think, is something that you can do at home. You don't need really all the time. You need to have an equipment. Anything that you can use, even your body weight, right, as a form of resistance for your muscle contraction. Anything that's a push-up, anything that's a squat. That's all resistance exercise. So if you actually engage in resistance exercise and you get yourself active, involving physical activity in your daily routine, even your daily chores, okay, can help you to maintain your muscle strength. So nutrition, just to repeat that again, is one of the essential component in maintaining your muscle health, because malnutrition is definitely a key factor for you to accelerate your muscle loss. So you need to make sure that you have a balanced and a healthy diet. Okay, you need to eat variety, because no one food that can actually provide you with all of the nutrients that you need to stay healthy. So you need to include a variety of different food groups in your diet. And of course, you have to eat sensibly, a right proportion, portion control, and eat in moderation. So these are the two main things that you can help, in terms of trying to maintain, or if you are actually good at it and you're consistent, obviously you can reverse muscle health.
All right, so Prof and also Doctor, I need two of your opinions on this. Now, we've spoke about disuse of muscle. Now, it leads to muscle loss. What about overuse of muscles? Does it lead to the same thing?
Well, it depends on how you overuse it.
In athletes, for instance?
In athletes, well, it depends on the type of exercise. If it's bodybuilding, etc., they can't build muscle if they're not having adequate nutrition. They need the proteins, etc. So,
correct.
And if you're a long-distance marathon runner, you also need to eat lean meats. However, you are doing more aerobic exercises. So it depends on the type of sport that you do. So, you can... if you train correctly with as you know, I think our athletes will advise as well, and nutritionists will advise as well, that you do actually need to sort of choose the type of sport that would actually encourage good nutrition and actually maintain your sustain the strength and the performance of the muscle. It's not just about muscle strength, it's about how you perform. So if your end point is to perform to the best of your ability, it needs to be coupled with nutrition and good strength and performance training.
Recovery is also important.
Absolute recovery. And if you do too much, you can actually damage your muscles, and then not just the muscles, but the cartilage, the tendons, your joints. And you can, interesting you say that, because a lot of our athletes, if you look at their longevity in their sport, it's usually quite short.
All right.
In a gymnast, by 2022, they're retired. Bodybuilders, how long can you go on for? Our athletes. And this is a sad situation. So, it's important that trainers out there, in fact, with those with performance sports, they really need to sort of, I think they are. I think our sportsmen have the knowledge to actually maintain. So I think it's important to actually maintain that as well in their training in terms of longevity.
Yeah, Doctor?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with Prof. I think it's all about balance, right? And when it comes to athletes, that's why they have a whole team actually advising them on the right nutrition, the right exercises, and recovery and all that. So
it is actually important, when it comes to not just disuse, but I wouldn't say misuse, but overuse of muscle.
Overuse. No, because like anything that we do in this world, we always need to find the middle point of it. Of course, you can stress it in a short period of time, but you also need to understand that over-stressing it in anything that you do would only contribute to massive failures at the end of the day. It's all about just practicing, basically serenity as well as, you know, trying to find that middle point. Coming back to you, Prof, we also, I mean, the fact that you are actually the president of the Malaysian Healthy Aging Society. We do want to understand, you know, the inspiration of the collaboration between MHAS as well as Abbott, where Dr. Nina is actually from. Like, is it something where you just find out, like, it clicks, it makes sense, hence why we need to go out there and we need to shout this out and we need to remind people again of how important it is. Is it as simple as that?
Yes and no. I mean, again, we took inspiration for the fact that Malaysian Healthy Aging Society has been around for over 20 years. And our main premise is to provide education and awareness, not just to healthcare professionals in what they do in terms of care for patients, but also to go into the community. And how we do that is to ensure that a lot of the advocacy work that we do is evidence-based. And often we work with many collaborators, and at this time it's Abbott in terms of muscle strength, because a lot of the work that we do in common actually has data and brings people together, not just health professionals. And we thought that since we are in the community, it's important to bring that message there, because a lot of our strategies, I mean, I'm a geriatrician, I work in University Malaya, and I see a lot of older people who have...
Aged people
who have...
Like Neo.
Not quite.
No, not quite.
You are lucky.
I'm lucky. Yes,
but
please.
you've already seen the damage. So I think it's important from a health advocacy point of view that we do preventive strategies.
Sure.
And a lot of prevention can occur in age-friendly environments in the community. So I think the important message for healthy aging and our society is that we want to promote age-inclusive, age-friendly environments that are sustainable, and work with partners that can actually bring that message forth. And one of it is actually improving your muscle strength and an ability to age well and gracefully into your later years.
Dr. Dina, and speaking about muscle strength, right? Prof, Dr. Dina, how do we gauge muscle conditions and all that?
So
now
is that as simple as...
We already know
He uses
what's
the mirror,
issue.
basically.
I use the mirror every single time, and then I post it up on Instagram like Mio. But the thing is, how do we gauge muscle condition?
How can one tell
whether their muscle is good or
is there a test
something
that we can
needs
do?
to be done?
Yeah, that's a good point, because usually one will, or adult will start to lose their muscle and they don't even realize they're losing their muscle, because the symptoms and signs are very, we can say general. It's like aches and pains, feeling fatigue. For older people, maybe they notice they walk much slower than before, and some even complain of muscle pain. But if they realize as well, some of them would just say, oh, it's just part of aging, it's fine. But actually you can still do something about it, then you can still slow down and reverse, right?
Sure.
So to gauge your muscle health, there's some ways of doing it to give you an indication where your muscle health status is. And for this, Abbott has actually introduced this, what we call as the Stand for Strength Challenge. It's actually a simple test, okay? So, but it is a validated scientifically test.
Can Brandon do it now? As an example?
I would love to do it.
Yeah, it's just a simple test. Anyone can do it.
Okay.
You just need a suitable chair, okay?
Right. No, I think we are on a good chair.
Can we do this? Can we do this?
Okay. We would like to do this.
You want to do it, okay?
Yeah.
So you just make sure you just put your arm, fold your arm across in front of you.
Like this?
In front of you like this.
Oh, like this?
Okay. And then you just need to do this sit and stand repetitively for 5 times as fast as you can.
Macam kena dengar
and then
je.
maybe you can time.
Okay,
you know,
I'll time it. I'll time it. I
how
would
fast
love
you
to
can
time.
do it.
Okay.
So when you're ready, you just do it 5 times. Sit and stand as fast as you can.
So all those who are watching at home, if you want to do this as well, you can. Just get a good chair, fold your arms like this. And
ready?
Okay.
1, 2, go. Okay. Now we...
2,
all right.
3.
Faster.
Oh, faster.
As fast as you can.
As fast as you can.
Okay.
Okay, he's at 7.3 seconds.
All right, so once you have that time, right, there is this, what we call a muscle age calculator. You can access that in our Abbott and Sure website.
Right.
You just have to put in the time taken for you to do that 5 repetitive tests.
Okay.
And some details mainly about your age and all that. And it will give you an estimated age for your muscle. So you can compare that based on your biological age. So some people can have like their muscle age is like, at par with their age. They're 45, so the muscle age is about 45. But some may have their muscle age is a bit older than their biological age. Right. So it gives you an indication that you need to do something about it.
A bit of whatchamacallit. Okay, why are you looking at me?
5 seconds, right?
No, I mean, like, it gives, at least it gives, the opportunity for people out there to engage with this kind of information. And should they want to know more, they can actually seek professional help going in with a doctor. Yes.
Brandon, I think you were probably in your 40s, are you? Because this chair is a bit too low.
No! Okay, yes.
No, you know what's not fair about that? The chair is a bit too low. So for those of you at home, make sure that the chair is a proper
Make sure the chair is a comfortable height, proper chair, not
I need to call in a heart doctor.
Okay. Thank you so much to our beloved guests. We have Professor Dr. SHAHRUL BAHYAH KAMARUZZAMAN, a president of Malaysian Healthy Aging Society, together with Dr. Nina Mazera Muhammad Said, Abbott's Nutrition Medical Director in Malaysia. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming on to the